Speaking of whitey pass catchers, how about Travis Kelce and the catch of his life, Taylor Swift? We had NFL opening night the other day. And Travis Kelce got lots of questions about his girlfriend, icon Taylor Swift. You might be wondering, Paul, why are you talking about this? About Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? Because somehow, some way, I have stumbled into the Swifties who like me. Why do the Swifties like me? They like me because one time I shit on Travis Kelce's ex, Kayla Nicole, who never shuts the fuck up about him. By the way, the thing that bothers me most about Kayla Nicole isn't even that she has built an entire brand on finding ways to continue to talk about her ex-boyfriend from 2 years ago on every single app that she can. Every single interview, reality TV show. She keeps getting invites too. She's not that interesting. This is all she's got. What, you want her to cry in front of a camera talking about a relationship? But that's not what bothers me most. What bothers me is this woman says that she's a sports journalist. I watched her reel, honey, covering the Ween Awards, which is a real thing, and it has nothing to do with OnlyFans or porn. The Ween Awards, that ain't journalism. Being a Lakers reporter, wearing a Lakers jersey at the Staples Center, that's not being a sports journalist. You're a pretty person. Shout out to you. But that's it. Didn't work with Travis Kelce. You should move on, right? So because I've had some takes on her, including one clip on TikTok that just blew up. It's the biggest post I've ever done on social media. Fuck me, right? I mean, I put all this effort into talking about the Texans and the Astros and the Rockets. And the one that blows up is me talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. But you know what, Swifties? I appreciate you, and I will continue to pander to you. First off, because, hey, you're giving me some clicks. But also because I'm a little scared of you. I mean, I've jokingly said this before. We obviously saw what happened on January 6th. What if a group with the passion and rage when provoked of the Swifties stormed the Capitol? I mean, I don't know. I think DC might have fallen. Just me. Just a thought. But Travis Kelce, at NFL opening night, he met with the entire world. And he was asked a variety of different questions about Taylor Swift. If you believe in love, you need to keep listening. Here is Travis answering some question to open up his availability session that involves manifesting after the Eras Tour went to NOLA late in October.
I think we're both, we love to manifest things for sure, and you can't say it's not real because we're here, right? So whatever she was doing, I'm sure it helped, and it definitely, for me not being able to be here supporting her during those weeks, it made me feel like I was there. So,
the question was really confusing. I don't know what the word manifest means. I know a lot of people believe in the idea that you manifest something into happen. What does that mean? Like you're just so annoyingly optimistic about it that it actually ends up happening? Maybe I'm too cynical and skeptical to make that happen. But Travis Kelce, he has to sit up at that chair for, I think, 20 to 30 minutes and field all sorts of questions from everyone. And my God, this is the worst day of the year for him. And credit to him, he does a podcast now. He's very trained in giving non-answers, giving the occasional funny answer. But trust me when I say this man is a prisoner for 30 minutes taking all these questions. It is fucking brutal to have to sit up there while you are surrounded by a ton of people, partly because of the fact that you're one of the best players ever and you're playing in the Super Bowl, but mostly because you're dating the most famous woman in the world. It's mostly that. And you're fielding questions that, like, how would you know the answer to this? Here he is being asked if Taylor Swift and her family, which are from Pennsylvania, I guess, which means that, and Swifties, don't get mad at me, if you're from Philadelphia or the greater Pennsylvania area, you're supposed to be birds till you die. You're supposed to be an Eagles fan for life. I know things can change when you actually know people that play for specific teams or when you're dating someone that plays for a specific team. Here is Travis Kelce being asked if Taylor is going to be rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Taylor obviously grew up in the Philadelphia area. Did she kind of... Taylor obviously grew up in the Philadelphia area. Did she kind of put aside her Philadelphia Eagles fandom when she met you?
Don't you notice how this guy who's asking the question, he's probably from Philadelphia, and he says, does she have a hard time putting Philadelphia aside? Bro, you're dating somebody for multiple years. Even if you are secretly pulling for your hometown team, you ain't going to say it.
Did she kind of put aside her Philadelphia Eagles fandom when she met you?
I don't know her to have the fandom. I know her father has a Philadelphia fandom as an Eagles fan, and yeah, she'll be all for the Chiefs this time around for sure.
It's so annoying that he has to answer that question, and this guy asks a follow up because this is the kind of journalism we need.
You know what? I'll have to ask Scott himself. We haven't had that combo yet, but I think he'll be wearing red.
I think he'll be wearing red. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's tricky when it's the Eagles. That's all I'll say. As far as diehard NFL fan bases, and I say this because half of my family's from Philadelphia, I don't root for the Eagles, but I know how passionate my stepdad, my godfather, my mom's brothers are about the Eagles. My mom's cousins. It's insane. They're nuts, though. That Silver Linings Playbook movie is pretty accurate. The Always Sunny in Philadelphia gang, their obsession with the Eagles, it's pretty accurate. Like, I bet there's if I could bet at this in mybookie.ag, promo code bet975, I think there's a chance that Travis Kelce's dad wears a neutral color. Abby Lieberman says, I don't think the greatest baseball mind in Houston should be spending any time on Kelce or Swift. I vote for more gallant time in the Astros' awful farm system. Listen, they have Cam Smith. That's all I know. And apparently he's an aircraft carrier. That's what Dana Brown told us today. I have no clue what that means. Let's bring it back to Travis Kelce at NFL opening night, answering all the hot button questions that people need the answers to. Like, hey, what's Taylor Swift's secret skill?
Ooh, she is quite the cook. I would say, man, I'm a breakfast guy, man. Her Pop-Tarts are unbelievable, man. Homemade Pop-Tarts, they're unbelievable.
Homemade Pop-Tarts does actually sound pretty good. I've never had homemade Pop-Tarts. I'm assuming you pastry with jelly, and then you put the frosting on it. I've always wondered, though, if you get Pop-Tarts from the Pop-Tart brand, Kellogg's owned, I think. Have you ever wondered how it all gets the way that it gets with the very, very hard pastry, the icing, which is also very hard, and the jelly on the inside? Do you ever wonder? I am curious. This is actually something I might try sometime. So thank you, Taylor Swift, for inspiring me to make Pop-Tarts, homemade Pop-Tarts. It actually would be fun. I do like baking. Paul, stick to sports. I am sticking to sports. I'm inspired to make Pop-Tarts thanks to Taylor Swift, and Travis Kelce is inspired to go for a three-peat thanks to Taylor Swift. Here he is talking about it. He actually said this. Come on, guys. This is not me being facetious.
Taylor's work ethic is unmatched. How does that inspire you in your game?
yeah, I better hold up my end of the bargain, right? I mean, if she's out here being the superstar she is and never taking no for an answer and always working her tail off, I better match that energy for sure.
That is true. I got to say, I'm not the most diehard Taylor Swift fan, but I do enjoy her music. I've seen videos of her on a treadmill walking on incline while singing. And I know those concerts are 3 hours and she's changing outfits the whole time. I'd be gassed. I'm just struggling to do this live stream for the 7th weekday in a row. And I haven't even been able to figure out how to do it at the right time yet. More from Travis Kelce on the love of his life, Taylor Swift. An asshole from the liberal media asked him this question.
Travis, what do you love more, Taylor Swift or phantom 15-yard roughing the passer penalties in the playoffs?
That's a good question. Anybody else?
That's a very political answer by Travis Kelce. What's interesting is Travis was asked about that on the New Heights podcast with Jason Kelce about some of the calls that were made in favor of the Chiefs in the Texans-Chiefs game. And he actually didn't answer it. He said, I plead the fifth. So maybe he knows, not that the NFL's rigged. I don't believe that for a second. But maybe he knows some of those calls were a little sus, as the kids say. Avi Lieberman Comedy says, my question is, hey, Travis, how many referees do you need to take a dinner in the offseason to achieve the lowest penalty ratio in the history of football? Someone put the math out there, and the math actually doesn't add up to the Chiefs getting that many calls, and then people will always say, well, it's about the timing of the calls. I don't know. I don't think the NFL is rigged. The Texans got sacked 8 times and had the worst special teams day ever on the road against the 2-time defending Super Bowl champions. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Bills got the bad ball spots, Paul, but no, they forgot to give the ball to James Cook for the biggest moments of the game, and he was averaging, I want to say, like 8 yards a touch. They put the ball on the ground 5 times. They recovered all 5 of them. They had no business recovering all 5 of them. The football gods, I think, said, no, the Bills aren't going to win. And I know there's that reel of all the short yardage spots. I really don't think that sneak for Josh Allen, I don't think he got there necessarily. I think everyone definitively saying he got that first down. I think they're talking out of their ass. It stands to reason there's a very good chance he got there, but the camera angles were difficult to see. And the referee who had the ball spot, not the guy at the top of the screen, if you go back and watch it, who did not have a vantage point on where that ball was and where the player was, because Chris Jones was standing in the way. On the other side, the guy who came in from the short side of the field when you're watching the game on TV, he had the better view. The problem is Allen's back was to him. So there was no way either of the refs could see. There was no way the cameras could definitively see. And I don't know that he got past that line. It would be nice if there was some way that the league could create cameras that can have a laser-like focus on the line of scrimmage from a raised viewpoint every single play, but I don't think that's scientifically possible. So you're just going to have to suck it up. And if you want the Chiefs 3-peat to get stopped, then you're going to have to root for those birds and Nick Sirianni. One last question for Travis Kelce, and this might be the most important one. He was asked about, you know what? Love is in the air at NFL opening night in New Orleans.
Are the rumors true? Are you proposing to Taylor at halftime?
Listen, I really hope they don't propose at the end of the game. I feel like Taylor deserves better than that. It would really make it all about Travis in that moment. No. I know some people have done the proposals after games, and this would be, perfect material for another album, right? Like, oh my God, I'm dating the best football player in the world, and he just won 3 Super Bowl in a row. Oh my God. I'm gonna write some music about it. But he's not gonna do it at halftime. That's for fucking sure. Do it right after the game. I don't know. I think if you're gonna do a proposal, you got to do it right. You got to have family right around. You got to have friends right around, and you want to do it where, I don't know, Taylor wants it. In the Superdome, the stadium that the last time it hosted a Super Bowl, the electricity stopped working. You want to do it there? What if the lighting's fucked? What if the lighting doesn't get the perfect angle? Although there will be a million cameras on her. I'm just asking questions, people. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Abby Lieberman has one last comment on Instagram at Sports Gallant. I think CJ should start dating Rihanna next year so the Texans have a chance. I don't know. It might need to be someone that's bigger than Rihanna. I don't know that Rihanna's still a big deal anymore. But I don't know shit about shit when it comes to music.